Yo, what up? Welcome to this weekly review. I know we random on a Monday, but we just watched Potomac and we just could not wait till Thursday because the thing is, by the time Thursday be coming, my fucks be all given. Honestly, truly. We got Courtney in the building. You already know.
Hello, 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 hello.
Courtney was like laying around watching. She was like, yo, we
Girl,
should
like,
we
I
should have
don't
did
saw
this.
people on vacation, honey. I'm on vacation, and I'm like, wait, we need to talk about this right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's just get into it because honestly, normally these episodes, like when they go on a trip, it's like 3 episodes max for a trip. This one, I'm like, I feel like
How long?
that right now, we're going on to the 4th episode. And they're still on the trip. But I do
Oh,
remember Atlanta, that Africa trip. That was a really long trip too. But this episode, we start off with the dinner. Karen, it was like Karen's birthday dinner, not hosted by Mia, but it's hosted by Mia. Kind of
no,
the
it's her representative.
Oh right, her assistant, her representative, basically was hosting for Mia because she didn't feel well, but she looked like she felt fine. So we started off with that at the dinner party, and Giselle's just overly confused by the situation, or maybe she's trying to like egg Karen on. I'm not really sure what was going on with that, but we see Mia in the bathroom with Thing 2, and she's saying that Karen, she like we really see her delusion like she's in the bathroom with Jacqueline. What's her name? Jacqueline. And she's like, yeah, like, didn't Karen say, like, don't host her party? No. Like, you're really, like, the way you morph this. That's why I'm surprised she's not a Gemini. I'm, like, floored. Like, the way she can morph a story into feeling like it wasn't her. And I think that's the whole thing with Wendy and the fact that Robin and Giselle, I mean, we'll get into it, but the other part of it is like Mia acting like she's doing something by coming to the dinner. She's like, I'm being the bigger person. Like, I'm coming down and I'm going to sit down at the table because that's what friends do. Like, I'm being a friend to Karen, like, by me coming down to dinner and putting everything aside. That's what, like, girls do for each other. Like, mm. So the
Wow.
buildup, it's insane. So the buildup is then. I did like that. I did appreciate that we did get one positive moment in the whole episode where everyone had a really cute story about Karen.
Okay, yeah, that was cute. I will actually say there's 2 positive moments in the episode, but we'll get to the next one when we're there. But yes, that was funny, and the wig flashbacks
The
when
clink clink. I was into the clink clink. But all right, here's what my real question is to you guys. All right, like if we're randomly doing this, so ain't no one in the comments, so leave a comment down below. But like, what do you really think this whole relationship thing with Jacqueline is going to be? Because she low key dropped 2 things in this episode that I'm just like, what? Like she talked about, they were talking about his tongue, Mr. G's tongue, and she was like, oh, I heard that it does wonders. Like, what? I wish you would say that about my what? I'm just like,
their relationship is interesting to say because at first I was confused. I thought the representative was like a childhood almost sister, like Mia kind of like lived with her family or something for a while, and like that's
and
why
like
they're.
maybe they hooked up with guys in the past.
And then they definitely. I mean, she admits to that. Like basically, Mia says that in this episode that the girl gives good, fellatio,
Mm-hmm.
and she did it for her boyfriend. So that makes sense. But like in the now, as like 45-year-old women or however old they are, like what is I don't know. I don't think it's just the men. They have to have some other connection with each other because that relationship is strange to me. Even as a bestie, like that's some weirdness energy.
Yeah, and it's just like you like it's interesting through this whole episode, like the whole representative thing really got under her skin. Like that was irking her this entire trip. But it's like, girl, you set yourself up
But she
for
kept
that.
doing it though. She kept doing it, even if it was getting under her skin. Like, why are you speaking for me? Like, why are you coming downstairs talking about she's not feeling well when that's clearly a lie? Like, why are you being this extra facilitator if you don't like basically being called her assistant?
I don't know, but who did like feeling something was Karen with them fire dancers.
Shout out to the editors. That was
I'm just like, how does the imagery of that how does the imagery of that like just do something for you? Like you just like, fire, yeah.
I mean, because he was strong and he was what he didn't have a shirt on, right? Or was that the girl? Because I know
Well,
then the
she
girl
had a
came.
shirt on.
She had clothes on, but she had like little hot pants on because at one point they caught her bending over the chair, and I was like, "Whoa, those are cheeks, those are
Oh.
cheeks." But yeah, I mean, it's a skill, so it's kind of like hot because
So
it's fun.
okay, so now like let's get into like really what happened, because honestly I always say I always like going back to who starts the
What?
conversation. And I feel like Giselle being confused in the lobby or in the living area was the start, but she kind of digressed from that. And then Ashley picked it up at dinner, and she started with, Karen, how was your conversation with Mia? And, Karen kind of, boop, deflected it right off. And then that didn't work. So then Ashley was like, brings up Chris on Twitter to Candace and said, well, he's threatening me, he's coming at me, and Giselle was like, well, I'm confused because I thought he was coming for me. And Candace basically was like, I mean,
Y'all put it out
y'all put it
there.
out there. So
Let him.
he was mad about it. So he gonna say what he gonna say about it. And my whole thing is, why are they acting confused as to what he's mad about? This has been it's been explained. They know what you're.
That's why it seems so fake, because I'm like, no, but no shade. I feel like Ashley deserves the MVP award this week for housewives-ness.
$1,000,000%. She put her work in, like Candace said.
Put the work in hardcore. But that's why, I mean, in the end, I feel like that's why I don't get, everybody like hates Giselle so much. And I really just feel like it is her doing show duty. Like none of her pretending to be confused. She is not confused. You're not stupid. And neither is Ashley. You're playing around because you are trying to maintain that drama for story. And I mean, I guess that's annoying to people because they're just doing it for sake of story, but you're not letting the bone go, so you're gonna play dumb. Like, how could he be so mad at me? Oh my god, because you just basically said he like sexually harassed you or was creepy with you, and he's a whole married man to one of your friends/castmates. They're not confused. It's bullshit.
And that's the thing. It's 100% bullshit. And I feel like Robin is trying to play the game. Like she's trying to because Giselle can play the game so effortlessly. And shout out to Prince Haroon in the chat. I feel like Giselle can play the game effortlessly. And I feel like Ashley is sloppy when she does it, but she doesn't care. She's just like, look, I got to drop my piece here.
Yeah.
And Robin is taking it to a whole new level. Now, I personally feel like Candace and Wendy are not playing a game. And that's their problem. And it's Wendy, I kind of understand it more, where Candace, it's like, girl, I know that this is all a game. So like, why are you crying about this? Why are you actually feeding into the game? Like you're giving what is wanted to be gave.
But, well, there's a couple of responses for why that might be the case, but I want to roll back to Robin for a second.
Okay.
Do you really think Robin is playing the game, or do you think Robin is just a harmed person? And I think she feels harmed by some of the ladies in the group. And so she feels like she's being her like honest self to like be harsh and unnecessary towards people. because she feels harmed by the group.
Uh, but who does she feel harmed by? Like
She definitely
who?
feels harmed
Who
by
hurt?
Wendy.
You said what?
She feels harmed by Wendy.
But
For we don't, but I don't think we know what that story is. But I think she feels harmed by Wendy, and I think that she also feels a little bit harmed by Candace.
but from what though? Like Candace didn't hasn't done anything to her yet. My thing is this. I agree with you to a point. I feel like this all clearly hurt people. And I feel like whatever is going on in Robin's relationship with Juan, whether it's a real relationship, honestly, I'm questioning if it's a real relationship because you've brought up like, does Robin maybe like Wendy? And low key, like we've always joked about, think about back in AfterBuzz, we low key always would joke about Robin being maybe a lesbian. Like now let's bring those thoughts back up. Like what if that is the case? What if that is why she's not with Juan? What if that is the reason we, maybe it's just like for TV value to have a husband on the show? Whatever the case is, who knows? But clearly, I personally think it's something that's going on personally in Robin's life and she's miserable. So she's taking it out on, I believe she's taking it out on Wendy because Wendy has a husband. He is present when she needs him to be present. And she does do things for herself, like whether it's stupid or not, whether you think her candle business is dumb or not, she does do it. And you guys should genuinely get along. It makes no sense that you don't get along. You both are women who want to start new companies and you hang out with the same group. Like it makes no sense. So there's
Yeah.
something internally with Robin. And then again, you hurt, girl, because I mean, I don't even want to get to it yet because it's like, she just irks my goddamn nerve. But so we're at the table and Candace starts getting really defensive and she feels that whether she curses. Now, how do you feel about this? Because I kind of agree with her in this. It's like whether she says something, whether she's silent about it and chill about it, or she gets mad about it, they come at her. And it's like, I do agree with that though, but I feel like that's for everybody.
I think that's an overexaggeration. Like it's singularly her. Like, do I think that they say she's aggressive when she comes at them? Yes, but she's also being aggressive when she comes at them. But do I think that when she doesn't say anything, like for her to say that when she doesn't say anything, like that doesn't really qualify because Candace is always saying something. It's just how she's saying it. She ain't always loud about it, but Candace knows shade like is the best shader on this whole show. Like the things that she come out of her mouth about these women, I'm horrified and also thoroughly entertained every week about the shit that she says. So I just don't feel like
Oh, you
I
mean
feel like
like long rolling hills of necks?
no, the one that threw me this week I mean, all of those are amazing, but when she said the African proverb, I said what I said, I was
I
done.
know.
I'm like, get off the television right now. Where is your mom?
Yo, that was hilarious. That one and Representative. Honestly, Representative was probably actually my favorite. So then we get to the next day. And the next day, again, Mia just delusional. And can everyone please stop saying that this trip was for Karen? Why on these Housewives shows do we have to say the trip is for somebody? Clearly, the trip is not for anybody.
It's not.
And then even
It's
later when Candace keeps being like to Charisse, I thought this was going to be like a peaceful, fun trip. When? You're on
so
Housewives. When has it ever been a peaceful, fun trip? Like, if you're going on the trip, you buckle up. Buckle
buckle up.
up.
It's
It's
party,
time.
girl.
It's time. We've seen your businesses all season long. Now it's time. Come on.
It's a woman.
We paid good money for this. Like, I thought it was going to be peaceful. Girl.
You definitely did.
Girl.
We love you, but you didn't think that. You
No.
knew.
And also, Mia, like, are you that dumb? She's like, why would Candace want to stay here? It makes no sense. Like, if my friend was at the hotel, bitch, because she wants to hear what the fuck y'all are talking about. That's
Yeah,
why.
get that intel. Know who's about to stab you in the back. So, except she clearly didn't hear enough because When she gets stabbed, she wasn't ready.
Oh, well. Okay, but before we get to all of that, I gotta say, I really do appreciate this whole. I do appreciate Ashley's stance in this, and I really hope it's genuine, and I hope it's not just so that she could have invited Wendy to this dinner in a malicious way. I hope it was out of like, I want to believe that her, Karen, even Charisse hanging out that day, like wanted to be a part of, like, feel, let her feel included. I want to
Yeah,
believe that.
I believe it.
All right.
I believe.
All right. Well, so we're going to believe that.
We're gonna
Um,
listen.
so again, Mia, and
Girl.
again, Robin. This is why Robin, just like, it makes no sense. Pay attention. Mia creates a trip for the girls, but she separates them. She has car A is the boat car. Everyone's gonna go on a boat. Now the bitch, you knew what she was doing when you said boat. You knew you should have told those people. Let me tell you something. If I'm on a trip, this is why I don't go on trips with people. If I'm on a trip and you plan a trip and you tell me I'm going on a boat and I pull up to that, I'm gonna be really upset because I could have went and did anything. I could
Yeah.
have done anything, whatever. I don't care. I don't need you to pay for the boat. I don't need you to do now. I'm gonna go spend my own money. I could have did anything.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just said, "Hey, we're gonna go drive Lamborghinis," and I'd be like, "Great, I don't want to do that. So, thank you. I'm gonna go do something else." The
For
fuck? You
sure.
got me pedaling in the harbor? Like what? What kind of
Not
luxury? And you're the one to always be talking about everyone else's luxury vacations or whatever. I just can't.
terrible. Our definitions of luxury clearly are not the same.
I can't. That was shady. Also thought on the boat trip it was interesting. Robin didn't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable talking about my wedding with, people who don't like me. When has
But hold up, you didn't feel like she did that. I felt emotional from her in that moment. It didn't seem very like fuck all these bitches. It felt very like my feelings is hurt and I don't want to talk about it.
girl, you're on camera. Like, she's gonna see it at some point. Like, Wendy has never said she hates Robin. Wendy has only Wendy has only gone after when she has been attacked. Like, personally, I don't think Wendy has ever lit the match in any situation. Personally, I do not believe, but I do believe she is kerosene. As soon as the match is lit, the bitch is going off. And
Mm-hmm.
Candace is the same way. But I do not believe Wendy has any malicious intent towards Robin and genuinely would want to make a connection there. But Robin doesn't want to allow that connection for whatever reason. For
No,
whatever reason, I feel Robin keeps a wedge up and she keeps blaming it on someone else. Like, you are not the victim in this. Like, what are you doing? You feel like a victim because you got shaded and had to go on the pedal boat, girl. You didn't get to go in the Lamborghinis. Representative got to go in the Lamborghini with Giselle, and she was so excited. And Giselle was like so irritated that whole time that she had to be in that car with
yeah,
Representative. Million
for sure,
percent.
for sure. And I'm not like coddling Robin because I 100% agree Robin has been trash for this whole season and it's disturbing. But I felt a little ways about how she said, I don't want to talk about this with people that don't like me. It felt genuine and it felt like it came from a hurt place,
I
not from
can feel I can go with that. I don't think the hurt comes from Wendy. I think the hurt comes from herself and from her issues with her man, and she feels less than because Wendy has a whole husband and a kid and a happy family
I don't
to,
get
to the
jealous.
public.
I don't get jealousy. I don't get jealousy. I get I'm in love
Well,
with
okay,
you.
maybe there is like a something we
And,
don't. Maybe there was a
and
drunk Christmas party, girl.
I don't get the like, oh, I want your man or I want a man like that. Like I don't get that energy from Robin at all. All I get is you broke my heart energy. And I don't know how. I don't know what happened, but there's something we don't know. I'm telling you.
We're calling this Christmas Gate. on Real Housewives of Potomac because it was a Christmas party. It was Robin and Wendy, and they hooked up, and that's what that's our
And she
little
always
conspiracy here.
knew something. Robin thought she was finally going to get to be who she is, and that Wendy, this brilliant, wonderful lady, was going to be by her side, and it just didn't go that way. Wendy's like, I'm not leaving my man. She was like, you just was a cute
She's
man.
like, "Girl, I just ate you out. You was just eating I was just eating your coochie."
She was like, Robin, I'm not here for that. I just appreciate the but I
Imagine
gotta.
and Robin thought that the boob job and all that was for her, and it really wasn't.
Oh my god. She was like, oh, you look so good, Wendy. We about to get it in. And Wendy was like, no, this is for my husband. And Robin's like, but I thought you were leaving your husband. I
But
thought we
what
were going to.
about the Christmas party? We were drinking eggnog. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Also, okay, so do you think Karen's apology to Mia was a genuine, like, she felt like I did actually do something wrong and I want to own up to it? Or do you feel like it was like let me just give this girl a bone so that she can just shut up?
I think she was actually being sincere. Like, okay, because the way she apologized, she said, I understand that it was selfish of me to think, because it was my birthday and I wanted Wendy there. I could have thought of you more, what I'm saying, in this moment. So I think she was being sincere.
All right. Well, what do you think? We got Prince in the chat talking about Robin gives lesbian for sure. Ooh, and he thinks that Robin hates Wendy. Yep. I think we are all on board with that one.
Her heart is broken. It's not hate. It's different. It's not hate. It's not straight up hate.
All right, let us know. Do you guys think that do you think Wendy is in love? I mean, excuse me, Robin is in love with Wendy and Wendy broke Robin's heart? I'm going to put a poll up. I would love to see what that poll is going to say. All right, so we get back to the house. The girls are all getting ready for another dinner, and Robin is taking a shit, and which becomes a thing throughout this episode that we needed to not know. And she saw a live that Candace did. Basically, we know how Candace talks. She's like, "You bitches ain't shit, da 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 da, whatever." And she screen recorded it apparently, or found it on a blog or something, and played it for Giselle. And kept emphasizing everyone. Can you believe everyone? Can you believe no, but like she said everyone. I'm like, what? Are you fucking, is it what? Are you guys 12? It is like, what time? You were in Miami.
Yes.
You're in Miami, like what? So you're in Miami and you're running to Best Buy to buy a fucking portable speaker, girl? Like what?
She might have had it in her bag. We always take our portable speakers on.
Whatever.
Tour.
Maybe she bought it when it was part of the budget from the Olympics that she did, the family Olympics. But Robin's really upset because she feels like she went out of her way to defend Chris. Like, first of all, don't even talk about you sticking up for him if you're talking about going out of your way. When did you go out of your way?
She went against Giselle.
Right. So just say that. Like, you went against your friend. You didn't go out of the way. You had a conversation with your friend and you were being a real person with your friend.
Yeah.
Like, this, now you're flipping the story because you want to be a victim. Like, Robin wants to be a victim because she is a victim, you guys. I'm telling you, I do believe she is a victim. I believe her and Juan. I believe it's not a healthy relationship, personally, and I think that they're victims to each other. Prince says, "I'm ready for this tea with Karen and Charisse. Beyond ready for that.
We are so ready."
And Ashley poured the kerosene on it tonight. Now we just get to see who's about to light the other match. So at dinner, we see. We get to dinner and Ashley goes ahead and just invites Wendy. And Mia says that she's mad disrespectful and that she's a brat. And Charisse said that it's unfair for her to make a decision without the group. And Ashley says, well, I think it's unfair for the group to ostracize one of the girls. And I agree with her because it's like we keep saying this is Mia's trip. It's not Mia's. This is not Mia's trip. None of these trips are any of these girls' trips. All of these trips are Bravo trips. So
Mm-hmm.
the girls are getting offended when someone's not there because it's like, girl, Mia, you are not fully paying for this house. Realistically, you're not. So,
And for Bravo, you're shady for that house because you paid for it,
mm,
and you could have done better. But but I do think it's crappy that they're ostracizing her because unless she has a problem with multiple people in the group and it was like physically dangerous, like I agree that like if she's more comfortable at the hotel, let her stay at the hotel. She don't need to stay in the house if she doesn't want to.
right, a million
But
percent.
they're all like the only problem she's really having with anybody is Mia. Like obviously she and Robin don't necessarily get along, but they're not fighting each other physically. So there's like four other people on the trip that she's totally fine with and cool with. Like why would she not be able to like hang out with them? That makes no sense.
At all. And Ashley ends up calling Mia a bully, which I feel like Mia like held a little like, oh, like a thing too, which because you're being a bully. Low
Yeah.
key, a few people at that table are bullies, and we'll leave it at that. Um, and then like how you were talking about how Candace just has those moments. Here was one of those moments when Candace turned to representative and says, "Oh, you're not gonna jump in."
I love her. Actually, at the table, I wish that Candace and Ashley didn't have so much conflict because if they worked
Oh my,
together,
yep. Oh, it would. They would eat the girls up, as the kids say these days. They would have eaten the girls
Robin and
alive.
Giselle wouldn't even be a thing. Like they would tear them to shreds every single day. Like it would be so good and so funny, and I hate that for them that they're not.
Literally, because then we would low key get a big talls and a smalls a new
Exactly.
season.
Except in this case, it would be like the olds and the youths, I guess.
Yep. Um, we get Robin with another victim mentality and delusional mindset. She says, Ashley, put yourself in Mia's shoes. And low key, I never even thought of it until Candace said it. She's like, "Hi, I'm here." Like, Ashley and Candace don't get along, but then they end up getting along. Like, it's just like, that's what we do. That's what this whole
Yes,
point is. And low
yes,
key, that's why I hate that I just feel like Phaedra, like, Atlanta really gave us the perfect years of what Housewives is supposed to be. Like, because it was fun shade. It was never violent. It was
yes,
always just like, "Oh girl, come on, come with the tongue. If you don't come with the tongue," like it was never physical, like until like
well,
Kenya and
well,
Portia.
they did tip the wig, you know. It's scary.
There were some moments, but I'm saying like I miss like Phaedra. I really do miss Phaedra. I think that was a beauty that she brings to the Housewives, is that it was never like it's never gonna get physical. It was always in Atlanta, period, because it was just always more about shade. And I
Yeah,
feel like with Potomac, they try to do the shade thing, but they do not know how to control their emotions,
not at
and
all.
physically it shows, and it's concerning because you women are too old for that.
True.
um Wendy shows up and she owned her part. Do you think this was honest? Do you think it was a truthful owning of her part? Do you feel like she genuinely meant it?
I do. That's why I said there was a second moment of positivity in the episode, and for me, this was it because not only she apologized, but she also was very specific in her apology, saying like, "I know that what I said could have been a trigger for you, basically, and then once you were triggered, I definitely continued to pour fire. I mean, pour gas on the flames, and I can take
Kumbaya, bitch. Kumbaya, bitch.
this
Who's she even talking to? Like,
only
what?
why did you have to do that? Like, girl, we could have had a whole like, okay, thank you for that. I'm getting to my apology. Like, I'm not there yet, but thank you for that. Like, you did
Right.
not.
Let's just celebrate for Karen's birthday.
I'm not expecting you to reciprocate just because Wendy decided that she was comfortable saying I'm sorry. But in the moment, you could at least be receptive and be mature. Mia, and it wasn't even like fun immaturity. It was just dumb. And she looks like a Muppet, and I don't like it at all.
She literally, you guys, like, Google Land Before Time, Littlefoot, and you'll see that picture of Mia with the out the front teeth is literally is big. It's Littlefoot.
I
Just
just
Google.
need the internets and the social medias and the World Wide Web to tell me what happened. Did she just have fronts? Did they come out? Did she take them out on purpose? Did
I
she
feel
know
like
she?
it's the way she smiled.
So you think the teeth was in her mouth when that happened, and it just looked like they weren't?
Yeah, I feel like it was like a.
What is happening?
I mean, I can't do it personally. I mean, I can't do it personally, but clearly she's very talented with her mouth. So
Why would she do that, Jesse? Why would she do that? That makes no sense.
I don't know. Let's start another conspiracy theory. Mia has no front teeth, like how like the conspiracy theory of Marilyn Manson has no ribs so he can suck his own dick. Mia takes her teeth out so she can suck better dick.
Oh, oh, and she already said, she wasn't the best at that. That's why she brought in the representative with her ex-man. So maybe she did. Oh, or maybe she just got in a fight because clearly she likes to fight, and the teeth were actually knocked out. So maybe she does have fronts that are like not hers.
I mean, personally, I think her teeth were in there, and it was just like.
Just there is no way her teeth were in her mouth.
I mean, I can't do it, but it was like something like you know how dogs sometimes like that back lip curl.
Stop reviewing shows. I'm a mature adult now.
I know. I really said I was gonna get better in life, but well, here we are. I guess. Well, why not join the party, right? Because just when Wendy had her moment of, you know what, let me own up to my shit, and we all, like you just said, we all could have just said, you know what, it's Karen's birthday. Let's just end it on that and like eat our prongs. Victim Robin has to pull out her JBL speaker and plop it on the table and show everyone, hey guys, guess what I have? Like, what in the Monique Samuels like book? Like, what?
He was definitely doing the most. The most.
And it wasn't even good. Like,
no.
this was your moment. This was your moment, Robin. Like if you're gonna be a bitch, be a bitch. If you're gonna be a bad guy, be a bad guy. Like, what was this? Like I was taking a shit and I caught alive where Candace was mad at us. Like, okay, you guys all talk shit about each other. What is Candace gonna pull your podcast up and just play episodes from your fucking podcast? No. Like, what? You sound dumb and depressed.
Because I will admit, like when we saw the preview, I thought that we were getting like some recording of a private conversation that had been had. It was alive on Instagram.
Exact. That made it even. That negates any like what? That's like you talking in your confessionals. You're gonna hear it. If it was a private conversation, that's different. And then like, okay, now that's funny that you're bringing the speaker out because it was like a conversation you and her had maybe. But like low key, it gives Drew bringing the wig and like just like dumb. Like it's just like this. That was stupid, girl. Like what? Like go on Bad Girls Club. Get off of here. This is not the show for you. Not the tier for you, honey. So
we giving Robin another hug and support in this moment of her patheticness.
No, well, you know Kanye West, love everyone, right?
Oh no, we don't do that. But trying to be a little bit of a devil's advocate in this moment, perhaps. Miss Robin. This just goes back to my theory of Robin being brokenhearted by people in the group, and for reasons that we may not know or be aware of. Because what I really think it is that she felt real sensitive, thinking that Candace was coming for her and her business, and she thought she and Candace were like real friends. The same way that Candace clearly thinks that they're real friends. So I think she just got in her feelings and couldn't get out because she just took,
Because she
probably because,
feels guilty.
no, because she's already in a effed up emotional place, probably due to her relationship and whatever's going on in her life. And then she thinks she's hearing her quote unquote friend, who she thought she defended and was being super strong for and stood up against her big bad Giselle against for her husband. And now her so called friend that she did all that for is talking shit about her on Instagram Live and talking about her business being trash or being, what did she call it? They're peddling
She
their,
said but that's what every housewife does on here. You peddle your business. Every single girl on Housewives, any franchise, that's what these girls do. You
they
peddle your
do.
business on here.
But you know that when Candace was saying it, it was taking a dig
But
because she's
but
mad.
I'm sorry. When I think of all the girls, the last person I think about owning a business, I know she owns it because Candace even says she's like, I don't know why she thought that. I own her products. I buy her products. She said
Yes.
on Watch What Happens Live. I don't even think of you, Robin. Like, I don't think of Robin as like a businesswoman. Sorry, I think of you struggling every season. That's
But
all I
that's,
think about. Like,
you're literally legitimizing my statement. That's why it hurt Robin's feelings. Because she's like, I thought you were taking my business serious, and clearly you think it's a joke anyway, and you're gonna talk this shit. And I thought we were friends. Y'all, they out there hurting Robin's feelings, and Robin don't know how to deal with it.
Robin hurting her own feelings, girl. You like that TikTok where it was like, oh, I'm late 3 orders on my own business. Wait, I own a business? Like, girl, go somewhere with that because I have no time. Like, Robin is a mess, and I
She is
can't.
definitely a mess, and she might be a little confused about her romantic desires. And I think that she's just hurt, and we need to think about that when we're dealing with her this season.
Now, did you feel like this was an ambush? Because that's what Candace called it. She said that she felt like this was an ambush. Would you consider this an ambush?
I mean, I don't consider it an ambush because it was a public statement. If it had been their private thoughts and conversation and she did that, then yes.
Well,
But
but wait. No, because I could see. All right. Even if Robin brought the conversation up at the dinner table, I wouldn't be mad at Robin. If she was like, hey, I saw you on a live, like, and you said this. But the dramatics of the speaker low key makes it feel like an attack versus just saying, like, hey, I'm concerned. I heard this. Like, were you talking about me and Karen? Like, you know what I'm
well,
saying? Like, the speaker is like, oh, bitch, here's the bomb. Like, okay.
like I always say every time we cover Potomac, all of these people are not great. So I like to defend any of them is nearly impossible because in the end they are still doing something that's not great and not kind and not good. But I can't call it an ambush when you literally shit talked everybody on an Instagram live to
Right.
a
And on the trip. Like, you shouldn't have did it on the
and
trip.
on the trip. And I'm glad. And I don't get me wrong. I totally understand. Like, because when they were on Watch What Happens Live, and the guy was talking about when she said all these bitches is like a colloquialism, like talking about, it doesn't necessarily. If you not one of the bitches, she ain't talking about you.
Exactly.
I understand that to a degree, but in the end, you aren't like you have frenemy relationships with almost every single one of those women. So if you say all these bitches, like there's room for even the ones who would think like Karen, because Karen clearly had her little feelings hurt in this moment, that oh, I might be one of the bitches. And you came hard for me on Instagram Live in front of millions and thousands of people, or however many followers you got, I don't know. And for you to try to be like, oh my God, how could you do this to me in public? Like, bitch, how could you do that to me in public? You're both doing the same bullshit. It's awful, and you're both horrible.
Yeah. And right after that moment where, Robin's all these hoes, all these hoes, all these hoes. And Candace was like, Karen, not you, though. Not you, Karen. And Ashley was like, oh, not Karen? Watch this. Hey, Karen, guess what? You know what Candace told me? She told me that you sleep around with a bunch of other men. Like, what is happening? What is happening, first of all? And then for Karen to get that. that upset about it, like, and walk from the table. Like, first of all, Ashley's doing this with a smirk on her face. Like, it's very clear right there what she's doing. Candace,
Very clear.
they did show the clip, but it's funny because they only showed part of the clip. But if you go back to that clip, she's referencing what I believe what what's her name told her.
Charisse, I think Charisse told her that.
Yeah,
And she
that's
was just,
what Charisse told her,
oh,
because
yeah.
that's the whole thing. Charisse and Karen, and everyone at that table knows it, and they're
I mean,
just
it is, but again, I'm going to play the devil's advocate to the devil. Candace in denial about it by speaking about it with Ashley at all. If Karen was your actual friend, you would not be perpetuating that rumor to somebody that is not Karen's friend. And you're by speaking about it at all, you're perpetuating the rumor.
well,
So you're
and
just
that
mad as the person that said it. And so by Ashley telling her you saying that shit, you are part of the problem.
well, and
So
that's why I think she felt guilty and didn't get up from that table because she was sitting there trying to think like, did I actually bring that up to her? Like, and I think that's what Candace was mentally going through right there. But like, and you did say it, and instead of going when Charisse told you that, instead of going to Karen and being like, hey, Charisse is saying this, because low
mm-hmm.
key Karen's supposed to be your girl. Charisse ain't your
Yep,
girl. Karen's your
yep,
girl. You should have
yep,
did that,
yep,
Candace, because
yep.
you gotta keep it 100 there. Because low key Karen, I will be real. I think Karen keeps it real. I think Karen keeps it pretty real. Delusional in her own mind and right, but for the most part, she keeps in the gray, I would
For the
say.
most part. But do you think that
I don't know
it is?
what's going to happen coming up once again. Once you are on that hanging stone, baby, you don't know how you're gonna act. And Candace, you on the hanging stone. Wendy, you on the chopping block. But um, personally, I think Robin needs to be put up on the chopping block. But we'll get to that. So I just need Candace to understand that she's a paid actress. Like, just be a paid actress on this show. I don't need you to like put your real feelings here, whatever. So there's a rainstorm. The girls go to a club and they all get drunk. And this is what now Courtney's been talking about this little love situation between Robin and Wendy for a couple weeks now. And this scene of them drunk at the club in each other's face, the smile on Robin's face, you know, with what Courtney be saying to me, I'm like, they're
It
in,
was too strong, honey.
they're in
Mm.
love. Okay.
And what did they like? What bridge did they go over to get there? Don't get me wrong. Hanging out with chicks, everybody's drinking and drunk. Like girls start hugging and loving each other. I'm like, oh my god, I hate you, but I love you so much. Like that happens. I get it. But with the amount of painful vitriol that we have had from Robin towards Wendy for these last, basically since the beginning of the season, and suddenly a couple of drinks has you like rolling all over her, smiling and happy. We didn't get no conversation sober to make things, chill. Cause like last thing Robin said was, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I know I'm like probably being a hypocrite, but I don't like fucking like Wendy. But now you fucking up Wendy's leg like at the club, like we best
Love
friends.
in this club, in this club. Mm, 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 mm. And I don't care what she said, Candace, you want to be friends with Ashley so bad. And I want y'all to be friends. I just
I
need
do.
y'all to like really make a pact and be like, look, I ain't going to talk. Look, because it's like just like you both we're in relationships. So like, you
Yes.
know what a relationship is. You just look that person in the face and you're like, look, I fucks with you, you fuck with me. I love you, you love me. I'm going to talk to you, you talk to me. Don't talk to nobody else. And
And
we
be
good.
done. And be good.
And you
Like
guys will
they
be great. You guys will be great. Oh my god, the magic that will come out of the two of you.
like we want to see them having fun, getting drunk together.
Yes,
Like
they're like Melina and Katana from fucking Mortal Kombat together. They'd be like, they will chop Robin to pieces. By Giselle will be like Maleficent by her lonely self, like on a
and not
fucking not know
Giselle
what to
will
do.
go home early in the van like she did for the club, like because Giselle don't really want to play this game, but this is a good check for Giselle, and she wants to keep her check.
Yep, because I would have been right in that van home, going home with Giselle. Like, yeah, girl,
Like,
this.
like, no, it's raining. It's gross out. I want to go home. I would have been like, yes, girl, I'm with you. I get it.
And we
So,
stopping for cheesecake, so
ooh, yes.
something. The car ride home, Robin and Candace are arguing about the video she saw while she was taking a dump, and this whole phone recording thing, I'm like not into it anymore. Like with the Housewives stuff, like I don't want to see phone footage. Like I'm just like, it's too much. I don't know if I like the outside coming into the show, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. I feel like it's like creating weird storylines. It's leaving certain parts of storylines out. Now it's like I used to love being able to watch these shows and not feel like I'm judging the person's like actual life. Now I feel like it's like leaking into their real lives with like Twitter. We have to pay attention to the Twitter conversation, what they're arguing about and all this. It's like becoming a lot. And now they're becoming very vindictive with it. Like they're recording stuff so they can keep track of it. Like Ashley's in the car recording what's happening. I don't know. And I feel like we're just going to see more of that because of the whole Lisa Rinna and Kathy Hilton thing.
Well, that's why I'm not mad at it, because that was the irritating thing about the Lisa Rinna and whatever. I was just like, can we just get the footage? Like, I want to know what happened. So I'm glad she was recording it, and we at least get to hear what was going on. And honestly, it gave me PTSD because I had a similar situation with some female friends
Oh,
where I was the one at home chilling and got the crazy phone call like Mia did, and people are screaming at each other, and it's like, what the hell is going on? So I appreciate it, and to me, I think it's just, the camera crews are closing up too early when it gets good, and if they weren't doing that, we wouldn't have to worry about the phones.
hey. Ronnie says, wasn't me, but this episode actually felt really uneventful. Real Housewives of Potomac needs more excitement and quirky moments. I don't think it felt uneventful. I like we were excited that we just was like, let's film today. I think, like Courtney said earlier, like if Ashley and Candace were like on good terms at that table, this would have been so entertaining. Like on a level of like Battle of the Duels, it would have been Giselle having to stick up for Robin because Candace and Robin and Ashley would have been eating her up.
Eviscerating her. It was
Filet mignon.
so good. It would have been, and it's like, again, it'll go back to the like good shade that we were in love with from Atlanta. Like nobody actually has to physically fight each other. You can just slice each other up, and
Right. We like fun shade.
we like fun shade and a little kind of play in the dozens, and let's do it. But
Ronnie
anyway,
says, I completely agree. I like seeing the cast go through things, not like this whole gotcha moment with these alleged off screen antics. Like, I'm good and it's becoming too much. Agreed. All right. So next week, we get something about Giselle asking. Well, this isn't. This is like the mid-season trailer. So Giselle's asking Mia about, did you put a flashlight in her coochie? I'm like, who?
like who's Poochie? Like what were we talking? I
And
don't
honestly,
know.
am I that surprised by it? No, because it's Mia.
No, I mean, she told us
We get
that she,
A visit from Jamal Bryant and a kiss.
which was weird. Why is he there?
I mean, it's her baby daddy.
I guess, but they ain't babies no more. They almost grown women.
True. And then we're gonna get this whole Jacqueline and Mia sleeping with Gordon thing, and I'm excited for that because I want to understand the messy behind Mia.
Do you?
Yeah,
Or do
because
you?
they have her on the show. And that's the point. If you're going to be on the show, I need to understand you in some sort of empathetic way so that I can continue to like you or hate to like you.
So you
Or
don't think you've already gotten that? Like clearly she was an abandoned child and was in some way involved in the sex work industry,
right, but
and
I want to understand, why do you carry this girl? Like, to me, I feel like she carries Jacqueline because it reminds her of what she's been through or whatever the case is and not wanting to let it go. I don't know. Their friendship makes absolutely no sense to me.
maybe they're
Um,
in love.
Not the whole cast of Potomac is a bunch of lesbians.
I mean, maybe like legit. Like clearly, Mia married for money, so it doesn't necessarily. I mean, love grows. So I'm sure she loves her husband, and they have beautiful children, and that's great. But like, maybe her true love is Jacqueline, and that's why Jacqueline's still around. Like maybe Jacqueline is her Robin, the Robin that was Whitney Houston's Robin.
Oh, or Wendy's Robin.
Well,
Then we're gonna get whatever's going on with Robin and her fake wedding with Juan, and like now they're gonna get what, like elope in Puerto Rico, where like out of the country,
some island and pretend to get married because then it's not legal in the United States, and
oh,
then they can not have to worry about when he cheats on her girlfriend. It's all good.
Then we're gonna get Chris snapping on Ashley, and I feel like I actually hate the scene, even though because it's kind of the one thing I'm really excited for. But I feel like I hate the scene because that's going to be the height of the whole moment, and it's not even going to be a moment because like Ashley's going to be like, let's just drop it or whatever. I feel like it's not going to be that chaotic of a moment. Although they have been going back and forth on Twitter still, so hopefully I'm wrong because maybe we'll get more entertainment. And then of course we're going to get the Grand Dame versus Charisse, and that will be.
It's good because Charisse finally wakes up. She looks alert in those scenes, and like she got something to say.
Well, because they sure been dragging her along.
Dragging her along.
It's like Charisse just looked like the chaperone and every.
Exactly, and the drunk chaperone at that, because she never looks like she has not had a few drinks, and we know she loves her champagne, so maybe she's always on the bubblies. But
I mean, hey, look, I would take that if they were like, hey, you just want to drive around with these girls. You don't really have to partake in anything.
Yes.
I'd be like, yeah.
She ain't got to try to whatever. Why not get a cute little check for some TV time? I would do it.
Boom. Prince Haroon says, can't wait. I can't either. Courtney, where can everyone follow you?
I am still everywhere on the social media universe at Stuart Starlet.
Boom. I'm everywhere at DJ Jesse J. Thank y'all for joining us with no promo. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just coming in the room like that. Love that for us. And hit that like, that hit subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And hit us up at Next Mood Swing everywhere on social. Till Thursday. See you back again. Peace.